On the evening of December 9th, 1965, there was a strange object that was seen over Pennsylvania. A lot of the eyewitnesses that saw it said it didn't seem like a regular meteor, but actually like a guided vehicle that was going somewhere. And where was that? Kecksburg, PA. Hi, welcome to Around the Town with Marilyn Forbes. Today, we are going to be spending some time at the very, very popular Kecksburg UFO Festival. We're going to be talking with some people. We're going to walk around and we're going to see what's going on. We're also going to check out some of the great fun activities. And I want you folks to remember, although you missed it this year, this is an annual event every year that does in part benefit the Kecksburg Volunteer Fire Department. So folks, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. With us again, we have Stan Gordon, who is a part of this festival, has been for a long time, huh, Stan?
Oh yeah, I guess I've been here for almost every one.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Do you do pretty well here? I mean, I had to stand behind some people that were asking for autographs, so you must do.
We got a lot of people come up and they just want to talk and say hello and share their story. So many people, last night and today, so many people have talked about sightings recently and in the past. And what's interesting is none of these people reported to anybody.
Really?
Okay? And that's what I find everywhere I speak at. You got people coming up, some talk to me confidentially, but a lot of them, even in recent weeks, have seen things. And a lot of the reports in recent weeks of daylight sightings of UFOs.
Really?
And there have been some good pictures taken too, especially these kind of large metallic cigar-shaped objects they've been seeing, including right in this area.
Oh, wow.
And but it's been very, very busy. The last 2.5 years, it's been just steady reports. And in recent months, we're getting these daylight Bigfoot sightings up on the ridge and other areas. And several reports, including a person came here today, saw one that's like 4.5 to 5 feet tall. These are smaller ones, but they're seeing them in daylight in most cases.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. But what brought everybody here today pretty much is what happened back in 1965.
Well,
and you actually have, here we go, you want to tell us about this a little bit?
Well,
He's
that's
actually an expert on the...
Well, it's called Kecksburg, The Untold Story. It's a documentary that I did a number of years ago. And it's a documentary that talks in great detail about what happened. I interviewed many of the locals and other people who were involved in it. Most of those people, unfortunately, now passed away. But I wanted them to have an opportunity to tell the story in detail. Because lots of times when some of these people are on the big national TV shows, they only have maybe seconds to a minute to really tell their story, which they can't. I wanted them to be able, for historical sake, to be able to preserve it so they could tell from their own mouth what happened.
Okay.
And so it goes into great detail. There's a lot of people who have seen the DVD, and it's a very, very interesting story. And actually, there was a few people here this year that were youngsters at the time, and that, like so many others, they came up and went up and saw the flatbed truck with the tarped object, and
So
others
cool.
saw it went across the sky. There are so many people who are involved. We have no idea how many. I interviewed hundreds of people I tracked down, but there's so many people, and people come up and say their relatives saw it, their neighbors saw it. Whatever happened, it was so important that the military responded the way they did, that something important was down there in the woods.
Sure.
They reacted very quickly.
And I also want to point out too, Stan is here every year, and he will be here next year hopefully as well.
Let's hope so.
And in addition to him having his booth here inside, he also speaks every year. There's usually Sunday afternoon, there's a lineup of speakers. You want to tell us about that real quick?
Yeah, we have tomorrow the conference is starting at 1 o'clock. It's 1 until 5. I'm the first speaker, but you got several other good speakers that are going to be here. You're going to have on paranormal. You're going to have a broadcast engineer that's going to talk about some interesting patterns he's seen with the broadcast towers and Bigfoot and UFO sightings in the area, which fits in a lot with the research I'm doing, that we're dealing with something with Bigfoot that is much more unusual than unknown animal. For a lack of a better term, I'll call it interdimensional. That's the data we began to find in the 70s. I wrote about it back in the 70s, and now these reports come in from all over the country, similar reports. There's a lot more to this than anybody understands.
Crazy. And it's like you said, and there's always new information coming daily, on a daily basis.
And people can reach me. My number is 724-838-7768, and the website is stangordon.info, so they can always contact me if they see something.
Okay, awesome. And you know what? I know there's a bunch of people that are going to be waiting to speak with you. So thank you for taking some time to talk with us today. And I hope that you sell out all of your items
Thanks
here.
for stopping by.
Thanks for having us.
Okay,
Good seeing
thank
you
you.
again. Okay, folks, we have another guest that we're going to be talking with briefly because I know all of these people are going to be really popular today. So what's your name?
My name is Eric Altman.
And tell us who you are.
I am the director of the Pennsylvania Bigfoot Society.
Okay, so what do you folks do?
We investigate the paranormal with an emphasis on Bigfoot cases, sightings, and claims. And we go out and try to find physical evidence to prove that they actually had a sighting.
Okay.
We've investigated hundreds of cases all throughout Pennsylvania and around the surrounding states.
Now, is there a special area that you find is like a hotter spot than most in the area?
Right where we're at.
Really?
Right-
Okay,
right
we hear
here.
that a lot from Stan Gordon, and okay.
Yeah, I
What-
work with Stan very closely on a lot of cases together.
So why do you think that is? Why do you think right here?
The Chestnut Ridge, where we're actually in part of it right now, it's been a hot spot for UFO sightings, Bigfoot sightings, the paranormal for hundreds of years. And we don't know why it is, but it just seems to attract all the weird phenomenon.
So now, if somebody has a sighting and they want to get in touch with you, how do they do so?
We have a website, pabigfootsociety.com.
Okay.
We have a business card here on the table. We've been around, like I said, for about 25 years now.
Where are you like stationed out of?
I'm in Western Pennsylvania.
Oh, you're in
just
Western
out-
Pennsylvania? Oh,
yeah,
okay. All right.
Westmoreland County.
And are these a couple of the items that you guys, these are casts, I'm
These are
assuming?
actually replica casts that have been made throughout the state, and one from Ohio, but these two are from southwestern Pennsylvania from the mid 2000s,
Look at this
and one from the early 1970s.
Wow, that's amazing. Now, as far as coming here, have you guys been coming? Is this an annual event for you, or is this your first time? Or?
From the start. Like I said, I've been working with Stan. I've known Stan since I was 13 years
Okay,
old. So
all right.
He and I have a long friendship and relationship, and yeah, I've been part of this event for its inception.
Okay.
And I've spoken here as a speaker many times, so we come here pretty much every year.
Okay, and real quick, Stan told us that he has a lot of people that are stopping and sharing stories with you folks. Are you
Yes.
getting that as well?
Yeah, we're hearing a lot of stories, people's encounters and claims.
Awesome, awesome.
So it's a good place to get a lot of information.
Sure, because people are coming here specifically for something on those
Exactly,
lines, you know.
yes.
Oh, awesome. Okay, well, thank you for taking time and speaking with us today, and
My pleasure.
have fun.
Thank you.
I hope you find a lot of good Bigfoot information.
I will. Thanks.
All right, folks, continuing our journey into the paranormal, we are here now with Goosebumps Paranormal Society. Hi, guys. Hi. Have you guys been to this festival before?
Yes.
Yes. This is, I think, our 6th or 7th year.
And how was it for you?
Awesome. Great. We're actually speaking tomorrow.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
Okay, so that we had talked earlier about people that speak on Sundays. So tell us real quick, what do you guys do?
Oh,
Go ahead.
now it's my turn. Oh, okay. We're a paranormal investigating
Okay.
group, husband and wife team, and we've been doing this for quite a few years. So we go out and we investigate. It could be a residence, a business, a cemetery, an asylum, all different kinds of things.
Okay.
Gettysburg, all different places.
Now, how far is your scope? How far do you travel?
We do Pennsylvania, northern West Virginia, Ohio. I'm from Michigan. We've done things in Michigan also.
Okay, and this is your book? Did you folks write
This is our
or?
book. It's a book that we wrote with some of our best investigations.
Okay.
This book deals strictly with Pennsylvania and Gettysburg.
Oh, okay, all right. I'm very familiar with Gettysburg and the hauntings down there. We actually had a couple of occurrences. I'll have to tell you guys about it
Oh,
sometime.
wow.
Yes,
Okay.
we did. It was years
Yeah.
ago. But so now, do you have a lot of people that are coming and purchasing your book, or you have
Yeah,
people
we're doing
coming and
pretty good.
telling you their experiences, or both?
Yes, both. So they come, they tell us a story, they buy a book. So they possibly may be in our next book.
Oh, there you go. Well, how fun. Okay, folks, talk about a unique experience. This is your chance possibly to be in print on the next weird, spooky, bizarre, the volume 2? Or?
Yes.
Okay.
Volume 2, yes.
And where can we find this at if somebody wants to purchase? Is it available,
It's available
online?
on Amazon for $16.95, but at the event we're selling signed copies for $10.
Okay. And last question for you. If someone would like to get in touch with you because they have an experience that they would like to share, is there information someplace that we can have them get in touch with you? Do you have a website or
Both.
Facebook? Or
Yeah, we have both, a website and Facebook page.
and they just go to Goosebumps?
Goosebumps.
Just look up
Paranormal.
Goosebumps, you'll find it.
Okay, that's easy enough to
Goosebumps
remember.
Paranormal Society.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
folks.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for stopping by.
Continuing on our adventure, we are here now with Ronald Murphy Jr. And tell us a little bit about yourself. Have you been to this festival before?
You know what? I have, and I first started to come here years ago as a groupie, right?
Uh-huh.
Because I love the paranormal. I love everything about this, and I used to listen to Stan Gordon on the radio whenever I was in elementary school, right? So I'm 54 years old. Okay, Stan, I think, got too much of that alien radiation, and the guy never ages. You know, if you would,
I know.
yeah, he never ages. I don't know what the secret is, but I assume that it was something to do with all these kind of things he investigated.
I think so.
But you know, my mother would have us listen to Stan Gordon, and he would talk about all these great things, and then we would go investigate him the next day as a family,
Oh,
and it was a great time to be alive. It was
that's
really
so
cool.
fun.
It was fun. Yeah.
And then, so your interest as a child morphed into apparently
Absolutely.
a passion for
A
you.
passion for me, that's
and
right,
I keep
that's right.
touching your stuff. I probably
Oh, that's
shouldn't
okay.
be here.
No,
So
that's
tell
good.
us what you do.
Okay, so I'm trained to be an historian. So my education is in education and history, all right? So as I write and as I research, I started to find a lot of really cool things about this area. Ghost stories, Bigfoot stories. So I thought, you know, we should probably write down some sort of compendium about all these great things that are happening around here. So the first one I wrote is my research called The Unexplained World of the Chestnut Ridge, which goes into all the stuff that's happened around here, from Bigfoot sightings and UFOs and werewolves and all that stuff. And then my follow-up book to that was the Haunted History of Westmoreland County, where I look predominantly at the ghost of this area.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you're local then?
I am.
assume.
I'm from Latrobe.
Oh, okay.
Grew up in Blairsville. I live in Latrobe now.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So are you? We're hearing from other people that a lot of people are coming up and they're sharing their experiences with you. Are you getting that as well?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. That's the good thing about one of these places. I almost look at these places as like a confessional, right? Where I'm the priest and somebody can come up
Okay.
here and they can unload whatever they want to without any kind of fear of ridicule or
Or
anything like
retaliation
that.
or anything,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Right. So with people, I get very, very sane, very lucid, very sober people coming up telling me stories of high strangeness, and they really would have no other place to tell these kind of stories unless it was a gathering such as this.
Oh, wonderful. Last question for
Sure.
you. First year, you're going to come back next year.
Oh no! This is actually my 5th year selling things
Oh,
here.
I thought this was your first
no,
year
No,
here.
no. This is
Take
not
that
my first
question
year.
back.
Sorry about that. Yeah, no, not my first year. But I'm definitely going to come back. Definitely.
Okay.
A few years ago, I was able to speak here. You know, so
Oh,
that
okay.
was like one of the hallmarks of my career because I love this place. But I will be here every year, and I was glad. You know, after the COVID situation ended, I'm glad to see everybody's back in full force.
Okay. What is this I keep touching?
This is a vampire killing kit.
That's exactly what I thought it was.
A reproduction of a vampire killing
keep
kit.
touching it.
And I assure you that there is no vampires around here today.
Well, not me. I can look into the mirror.
Yeah, that's right. You're all
and
good to go.
everything.
You're all good to go. But you know what? This is the thing. If you think that that's going to hold up now, it's not. Because the reason why mirrors did not show reflection is because they were made of silver. We don't do that anymore. So, yeah. So unless you have
my gosh, silverback, of course. I never thought of that.
Yeah. So unless you have an antique mirror, it's not going to work against the forces
So
of
I
darkness.
might be a vampire.
She still might be a vampire. I think we should get one of those antique ones and hold it up to Stan Gordon and see if we get a reflection, you know?
That's funny you said that about his aging though.
Yeah,
because
oh, yeah.
He's been on my show a couple times.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
Gosh
yeah.
darn it.
Head of black hair, he was still out in the woods and doing things like that, and I get tired listening to him sometimes. So.
Well, we're lucky to have him in our area.
Hey, we
'cause
are.
he is-
Without Stan Gordon, there would be a lot of people not here today.
Well,
So.
you're a
Me.
perfect example.
Absolutely, that's exactly right.
Honestly, wonderful. Thank you.
Hey, thank you, guys.
Okay,
I
we're
appreciate
going to
it.
look at people wanting to see you, so we're going to get out of your way
Hey,
here.
I'm flattered. Thank you so
Thank
much. guys.
you.
We'll see you.
Continuing on with the crafts. And there are all kinds of fun vendors here. Every year they come, and there are many different UFO related things. Over here, actually, this is the volunteer fire department. They always do a bunch of different t-shirts every year. And as you can see, they're really jumping. They have hoodies, they have t-shirts, all kinds of things for all of you UFO lovers out there who would like to come and maybe grab a t-shirt. These are cool. These are lovely. How long does it take you to make something like this?
Probably half an hour to an hour, depending on how many. I'll usually mass produce them and do the same style over and over.
Now, is there a candle in these, or what is these?
Inside will be strand of lights like this. They just run on AA batteries,
Oh, wow.
so easy to maintain.
Now, are you here every year for this festival, or is this your first time?
This is our second time.
Your
here.
second time?
Yep.
How do you do here when you come?
Pretty well. It's a nice crowd every time.
Awesome. Well, thank you for sharing your awesome. These are awesome. My goodness, we have Bigfoot. Look at this. 8 locals. Oh, awesome. So I said a lot of fun handmade items. Did you make these?
Yes.
These are wonderful.
Thank you. My little cryptid menagerie.
Cryptid cuties. There you go. Oh, these are awesome. Look at these. All kinds of different sizes. Now, these bigger ones, about how long does it take you to make something like that? An evening? So do you like plan all year for this then, to making stuff and everything? How many times have you guys been here? Second? And did you do pretty well last year? Oh, good. Well, you got a good crowd today, so good luck. Oh, Ninja Turtles! Oh, look. Oh, my gracious. We have everybody. Oh, look. All different things represented here. Oh, my goodness, we have different soaps. We have a lot of different wooden items. These are pretty cool. This gentleman has a really, really nice assortment. I was looking at his stuff earlier. So tell me, how long does it take you to make these items?
It takes, depending on what it is. I mean, they list me up as an artisan, so I just take and refurbish and recycle anything that I can find, and everything comes from all the local area that's here. Like, a lot of my wood comes from the local farms. Some of the barns has been torn down. My sawmill cut stuff has come from the sawmills up here in Champion, like at Rittenhour's Lumber Yard, and when Browns was in business, stuff like that. The local farms, the Howard farms that are here, especially Chart Howard up here, good friend of mine. I live right up the road from him. Stuff come from Billy Howard's place.
So all local?
Everything is all local.
Awesome.
You
have a very good imagination. Now look at this. This is just amazing.
Now, this here, for instance, I was at the Iron Furnace 2 weeks ago. I go to all the events around. The coin on the bottom was done by a 2-man crust cut saw.
Okay.
So I picked those up and then I turned it into something naturally.
And these are cute. I bet you sell a lot of these. I bet you do. Well, good luck. I hope you sell everything.
Thank you. Thank you. It was nice meeting you. Nice seeing
You as well. Mr. Pinsky, how are you?
I'm doing fine. How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
Good to see you.
I haven't seen you for a while.
Well, I've been around.
So I know you've been pretty much a staple here every year, right?
Yeah, I've been here probably almost like 10 years
Oh,
now.
really?
Yeah.
How do you do here sales-wise?
I do very well. Yeah.
Now, are you bringing different things here now every year, like a little bit more UFO stuff, or what do you bring?
I make some of the things.
Okay.
Some of the things I make out of household goods or shadow boxes, etc.
One of a Kind by Andy Pinsky of Scottsdale. And he's been here every year, probably be here again next year.
I plan on it.
Okay.
I'm still around.
Thanks.
Thanks.
All right, we're outside now. So you can see it is an absolutely beautiful day. The entire parking lot area here is filled with additional vendors other than the ones we saw inside. They have a lot of things as well. Hi, guys.
How you doing?
We're doing great. Oh, look at these. Who's the painter? Who's the artist?
I'm the graphic artist.
She does the shirts and all the banners, and I do the art.
Oh my gosh, look how, is this cool?
So we get old thrift store paintings. We get old thrift store paintings, and we just bring it to life. Add some new stuff to it.
Add some new stuff to it. That is awesome.
Recycling. It's like recycling, really.
You're doing your job to help the planet and create your art at the same time.
Exactly.
So now you said you're a graphic artist, so did you design the?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Are you folks local or where are you from?
Erie, Pennsylvania. So about 2 hours, a little bit more. Yeah.
All right. So what do you think of our festival here?
We love it.
I think it's
Thanks
awesome.
for having us.
The whole community just gets together. I think it's really cool.
Yeah, we think it's
the
great.
fact you have a parade and you have all
Yeah.
that. There's awesome music playing last night. It was
Oh,
really
really?
cool.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a really good band.
It's a nice weekend now.
It is.
Yeah, it's a really good time.
Okay,
We look forward to it.
Okay,
We bring our
awesome.
dogs, bring the whole
I
family.
see that. Oh, there's 3 in there.
Oh yeah,
Hi, guys.
they're so good. They're
How do you guys like the UFO festival?
They're doing great. This is awesome.
He's shy or she's shy. So how, you having a good time?
Oh, they're poop. Look at those eyes. I
Oh
love
my
it.
gosh.
Sweetest little face.
Great. Well, hey, have a good time,
Hey,
guys. I
see
hope
ya.
you sell everything.
Thank you much.
What refrigerator would not be complete without a refrigerator magnet? Do you guys make these? Yes. Who makes them? Everybody? The family? Or?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I guess there again, too, each one is unique.
Yep.
Okay. Do you do different ones? Is this first of all? Have you been here before?
Yeah, like 5 years ago.
Okay. So that you're returning after 5 years. And I'm assuming you came up with a whole bunch of different designs this time, or?
Yeah, we knew it sold well last time, what people liked, so we did more of that this time.
Okay. What's a good seller for you? What do you sell a lot of?
We sell a lot of magnets and those bio bottles.
Okay. And what are the bottles? Tell me what those are.
My dad makes them as the T-virus from Resident Evil, Mothman DNA, the Trixie, and then Squatch DNA, then Alien.
Oh my gracious! Well, you have a little bit of everything. Do you like being here? Do you like coming to the festival?
Yeah.
Do you?
Also, he brought his gremlin and then made him little tin foil.
That's amazing. That's great. So, who are you folks and what do you do in a nutshell?
This is my first time vending, but I've been coming to this festival for probably like 15 years.
Okay.
My mom brought me when I was a kid, so I love Kecksburg and everything about it. So I do like handmade. We really focused on like the acorn, like the image. So we did a lot of, plaques and some ornaments here.
Yeah, there's those ornaments again, folks.
Yeah, I actually took some old postcards and painted some, like Kecksburg here.
I just love that idea.
Yeah, and then I did a UFO in a city scene, and this is actually Mothman with the Silver Bridge down in West Virginia.
Oh my gosh.
And I actually made some Bigfoot knockers. If you don't know what they are,
No, what is that?
So.
Do I hit Bigfoot if he comes at me, or?
Well,
Okay,
no,
go
well
ahead.
you
I'll
could
let
if you
tell
wanted
me.
to, but actually, if you that's what they say how Bigfoot communicates in the woods. Like they knock on trees, and that's how they
Really?
communicate. So actually, Bigfoot researchers go out and they knock on trees, and you can use a Bigfoot tree knocker to exactly.
So they're going to come now?
Yeah, they might come running out of the woods
Look out,
and
folks! There's
try to
going to
get
be
you. But,
Bigfoot's coming. Oh, that's fun.
yeah, so I handmade those as well. These are all. I burned these and just stained them. So just something a little different.
So these are neat here. This is what I keep stressing to folks. I mean, I don't want people to think that it's just a bunch of commercial stuff. There's really a lot of unique items here, a lot of handmade items.
Yep.
People put a lot of thought into a lot of this stuff. This is
Oh,
great.
yeah, I love Kecksburg. We're from Pittsburgh, and once I heard about when I was a kid about a crash that happened not too far from out of the city, I was like, I need to find out where this is, and so ever since then we've been coming to support the festival and the fire department.
Okay. And I see here it says if you have a Bigfoot or UFO encounter to
Yeah.
get in touch with you folks.
That's my Instagram, Western PA Unexplained, and I always like to hear what local people have seen, or if they'd like to tell me about what they witnessed. And I'm always here. I don't judge, and I'd always want to hear what people have to say.
Awesome. Now, I understand from what I've been hearing, there's been a lot of more activity in the area that's been.
All the time, like the researcher in the building there, Stan Gordon.
Oh, yeah,
he's
hold
like,
on.
yeah, he, I've known him a long time as well, and yeah, just from when I always see him, he says that Bigfoot and UFOs are always being seen around the area. So, yeah, just
They love southwestern Pennsylvania.
that's great. So do I.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
As I said, I'm really, really impressed. The imagination that these people are putting into a lot of these items. And as you can see, they're popular because this place is absolutely packed. Oh, here's a bunch of cups. I could fill something up with something cold right now. Hi. So you are a local carver?
Yeah, from Uniontown.
Okay, these items here, are these a couple that you carved that you brought here? And now what are these all here?
Those are coasters.
Okay. Do you guys make those or you
Yeah,
just do
I
the-
make. They're all vinyl that I put on. I get ceramic tiles, and then I put the cork backing on it, and then vinyl.
Oh, okay.
So I make the little coasters there. Those the shelves there are all hand carved.
Those are lovely.
Thank you. Yeah, I did all that with knives and chisels.
Oh my! Now, how long would it take you to make something like that? I mean, I know it varies, but just kind of an
Yeah,
idea.
It just depends, anywhere from 10 to 20 hours. Depends
Really?
on the detail and stuff. Because it's all hand done with knives and chisels. And I did the walking sticks. And if you pick up one of them little pencils, there's a little wood spirit face.
Oh, look
And-
at that! My cameraman. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, thank you. And then I started doing some Bigfoot. I just for the fun of it, but they seem
Oh,
to be
you
really
carved
popular.
these as well?
Yes.
Oh, those are lovely.
I had two more of that size of the Mr. Bigfoot. That's Mrs. And if you look, you'll see she has high heel shoes.
Oh my Lord, she does. So Mrs. Bigfoot can do something I can't do. She can wear high heels. I'm
There you go.
impressed. So have you been to this festival before?
No, this is my
This
first
is your
year.
first.
Yes.
Okay, so I know it's only
I've
day
been
2.
up just to attend it.
Oh,
but,
okay. What do you think of it? How's it going for you?
It's pretty good. Yeah, it's pretty full. A lot of people, and everybody seems to be having fun.
Having fun. That's all. That's what it's all
That's
about.
what it's about. Yes.
Okay. Well, hey, thank you.
Hey, thank you.
I made a friend. He's big. He's fun, and he's only $25. So you too can have your own very special alien buddy anytime at all. Well, it is my pleasure. We have with us now Ron Struble, and are you the organizer or one of the organizers of the event?
I'm
or
the president chairman of UFO committee, which encompasses a lot of help in the fire department.
Okay, there is. I see a lot of help out and about here.
Right. If it wasn't the firemen and the ladies in the fire department, we wouldn't have it.
Now, if I remember correctly, because I'm a local girl, this used to just be a volunteer fire department fair, just like all the other ones in the area.
We used to have a fair years ago when we had the Ferris wheel, but because of the liability insurance and so forth, we had to give it up because we couldn't afford to pay the liability insurance. So 18 years ago, one of the ladies in town designed a shirt, and the first shirt was the UFO design, okay, and that's whenever in 2005 I hooked up with Al Bishop out of XL Sportswear, and that's when we started to sell the shirts.
Okay.
And we started in the basement selling shirts.
And that's how it all started.
And that's how it started.
Well, I'll tell you what, unless I'm wrong, is this the biggest one you've ever had? Your vendor, seems like you have a ton of vendors. And
Yeah, this is probably the biggest in 18 years that we've had.
Oh, that's wonderful.
We got 4.2 acres of parking now, which takes care of our parking problem. And the vendors I have are pre-selected by me and the committee, and we stay local. We like to keep the local people involved. I don't bring in carnies. I just want to take care of the local businesses in the area.
Well, I'll tell you, David and I walked around. We were looking at a lot of the different vendors and stuff. I am so impressed with the imagination these people have. Talk about UFO everything, from soap to ornaments to shirts to you name it, you got it.
Well, we've had just today, I've had people from Canada,
Oh my, okay.
all over the
All
country.
over the place.
Yeah.
Well, and also too, I know unfortunately the people that are watching this, it's going to be too late for them to come this year. But do you have it the same time every year so folks can plan it for next year?
Same time every year, so it'll be the next to the last full week in July.
And it's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday?
Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
And as we had pointed out whenever we were talking to Stan, usually Sunday afternoon is your afternoon for speakers,
Yes,
correct?
Speakers will be here in the EMS building, Kecksburg EMS, and that'll be from 1 to 4:30 tomorrow.
Okay, and
which is
before
Sunday.
we sign off, I got to ask you. So, folks, this gentleman actually really was here that night on December 9th, 1965. What are your thoughts in general? What do you think?
Well, after serving on the committee for 18 years, I believe something did happen because I had brother firemen go to their deathbed saying that something happened. So sooner or later, the information is going to come out, and I'm just enjoying the fact that people enjoy what we're doing and come out and support us.
Oh, wonderful. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much for being with us, and I hope the rest of this weather is great. I hope it holds up for you and you have a great weekend.
Well, thank you.
Well, folks, I hope you enjoyed the show. I know I did. I'm so interested in all this kind of stuff, and it's great every year to hear something a little bit different. So honestly, if you are a fan of all of the paranormal, supernatural, or something that is completely unexplained, this is the place to be. So mark your calendars for the 3rd weekend in July next year, and we hope to see you then. So folks, I hope you enjoyed the show, and remember, keep smiling, keep dreaming, and keep watching.